Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We are really excited to have you here with us to take a deep dive into Codebeamer 3.0, the latest evolution of PTC's powerful application lifecycle management platform. And whether you are a longtime user, just getting started with the tool, or contemplating whether or not you want to switch tools, this new release brings significant improvements that you want to know about, from performance to new features that streamline complex development processes across regulated industries. Next slide, Zephyr.
Yes.
And the next one, sorry. Good. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is January. Most people call me Jan. I've been at Naga Software for 4 years now. And prior to that, I worked for the original developers of Codebeamer ALM, Intland, prior to PTC acquiring them. So I come with a lot of expertise with Codebeamer. And with me today is Zaffer. He's a senior consultant at Naga Systems, and he comes with us with 20 plus years of ALM experience. So the two of us will be your moderators today, and we're excited to have you here. Next slide. Great. So everybody's here because they know who Nanga Systems is, but maybe you're not familiar with some of the services that we offer around Codebeamer. We are a licensed reseller for PTC, so you can purchase your licenses directly through us. Our consultants are helping people with proof of concepts and tool selection, whether that be comparing Codebeamer with other tools on the market or your legacy tools, requirements analysis, and implementation, data migration, which is a huge point. We have an out-of-the-box solution to help people migrate from all ALM tooling to Codebeamer very, very easily. Template configuration, customizations, and today, if you like what you see, Codebeamer 3.0, we can help you with the upgrade. Great. So just some quick housekeeping notes. You'll see that there is the possibility to post some questions, but we will try to answer those questions if we can't on the fly at the end of the session in our Q&A. But here's what to expect for the next 30 minutes. What's new in Codebeamer 3.0? Cluster architecture, working sets enhancements, alternative user interface. We'll additionally talk about how you can manage Codebeamer instances, so multiple, whether that be your test or your pilot server to production, and how we can support you with upgrading to Codebeamer 3.0. We'll end the day with a Q&A, so sit back, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's see how Codebeamer can supercharge your engineering workflows. Zaffer, off to you.
Okay, thank you, Jen, for the introduction. As you already mentioned, or Jen mentioned, my name is Safer, and yeah, I'm glad to know I have to hold the presentation for the webinar. So let's start. As Jen already mentioned here, the agenda, and so there are several updates in the 3.0 generously, but we will focus on three areas: the cluster architecture, enhancement in working sets, and the updated web UI experience. After that, I will briefly introduce a supplementary tool we have developed, and I will close with an important note about the upgrade process. So I just... one of the most notable updates in this release is the introduction of the true cluster architecture. This is a significant step forward for Codebeamer 3.0 in terms of scalability and performance. With the new architecture, workloads can be distributed more efficiently across multiple nodes. This not only improves system performance under heavy load, but it also enhances fault tolerance. If one node goes down, the others can continue operating without disruption. Another benefit of this architecture is easier horizontal scaling. As your environment grows, adding more nodes becomes straightforward and does not require major reconfiguration. This makes Codebeamer 3.0 better suited for larger deployments and enterprise-scale environments. No, sorry. Yeah. That was too early. Another important enhancement is for companies running Codebeamer 3.0 on Oracle databases. The application now supports the use of read-only database instances. This allows to offload read-intensive operations to a standby database, like reporting or data analysis, and reducing the load on the primary system. This setup can significantly improve performance for users with heavy reporting needs, and it enhances overall system responsiveness by separating transactional workloads from analytical queries. In conclusion, can be said. Codebeamer 3.0 improves performance and reliability with worker nodes for background tasks and read-only replicas to reduce load. This ensures smooth operation even if a node fails and better availability during high traffic. The cluster operates effectively only when admins properly configure the environment and monitor and set up the failover rules, surely. So the other improvement I like to highlight is now how working sets are now handled in Codebeamer 3.0. For those who may not be familiar with the term, a working set in Codebeamer is essentially a logical snapshot of a project data, like requirements, tasks, or test cases. That allows teams to work independently of the main project. Think of it as a dedicated workspace where changes can be made without affecting the baseline or the work of other teams. Working sets are especially valuable in engineering and product development, as they allow teams to work in parallel on different phases, features, or product variants. This isolation supports controlled change management, improves collaboration, and helps ensure that your mainline remains stable, while focused development can happen in separate, safe environments. They also enhance traceability, simplify the process of merging changes later, and are particularly useful in complex product structures or iterative deployment models, where multiple work streams run concurrently. In previous versions, when working set was created, the related items were physically copied, which could be time-consuming and storage-intensive. Now, with the latest enhancements, items are no longer duplicated. Instead, the new working sets simply reference the existing versions from the source. That means significantly faster operations thanks to the optimized database handling. So PTC mentioned it was up to 200 times faster. And we will also see later in the example how fast it is really to use the new working set environment in Codebeamer 3.0. To ensure the consistency and the traceability across different working sets, Codebeamer uses what's called a common ID. This common ID remains constant for an item across all its variants, whether it is in the default working set or any derived ones. This mechanism enables reliable linking and associations between items, even you are working across different versions of branches of your project. Each item in a working set also receives a local ID, which is unique across the entire Codebeamer instance. So if you create two working sets from the same base item, we can see like in this example in the graphic, each version will have its own local ID, but they all share the same common ID. In the default working set, the local ID and common ID are identical. In all other working sets, the local ID differs while the common ID stays the same, ensuring continuity and traceability. Now switch to the live demo. You can see here we have both systems parallel running. We're on the left side, the Codebeamer 2.2, and on the right side, Codebeamer 3.0. Before we create a working set, let's take a quick look at the project size on both systems. So you can see they are the same. We have the same project with the same documents in use. So we are using the same example project in both systems. This allows us to make a fair and realistic comparison of the working set performance. By the way, these systems are running local on my local machine. So we will start with the Codebeamer 3.0. Going to the creating working set. Demo. Give him a nice color. Well, this is not necessary. Going to next. We select, leave it as it is. We will really take over everything in the working set. So, and we can count the seconds. And I think about 20 seconds or 25 seconds, it will be done. We can probably start here to go to the project. And it's done on the right side. I don't really count now the seconds, but it was should be 25 seconds. So now like we make the same steps here. Also the same content. So, and started. The point is that will definitely take longer. And during the time, it makes no sense to now wait until it's finished. So we can go ahead with the next step and see the next chapter with regarding the Codebeamer X, the new UI. But we can see it parallelly when it's finished here so that we will not miss that when it's finished. And it started about 2:30. So we will see when it's done here. Okay. Sorry. No. So one of the next topics was, as I mentioned, or in the agenda, the new web UI experiences. That means in the early years, Codebeamer X was introduced as a version with more modern and intuitive interface. Also, this interface offered a fresh design and more modern user experience. It was originally intended for less complex use cases and therefore only contained a subset of the full range of functions of the regular Codebeamer. It was well suited for smaller projects, evaluations, or teams with simpler requirements. With the current 3.0, this modern user interface has been integrated into the regular Codebeamer application and now includes more features that are available in the regular user interface. So we can maybe switch directly. So we go in here to the admin. So this is the 3.0, going to the preferences. And now you're able to switch to use Codebeamer X, save. And when I press again here the I logo, then it will switch to the new UI. So as you can see, the views are a little bit different, but and it's more generous and it's more airy. When I make it bigger, the screen, you see the project menu will then go up again. When I make it smaller, make it narrow, it's going to the left side one. It's using the Angular UI framework. So, and it's also possible to use that in smart devices if necessary. When we now open a project, it's also that the tracker seems different now. I opened one. And I can navigate also from here, directly to different trackers. Yeah. And you see it's when I make it narrow again, it is also automatically adjust the menus on the left side. So in general, that is more fresh, more modern. And but what this means for you, to have the opportunity to test a new interface and partially integrate it into your new work process. Unfortunately, the working set functional, what we are testing here on the currently, the enhancement is not yet implemented in the Codebeamer X. But Codebeamer X will be definitely developed further in the next releases to complete the functionality as the regular UI. So for the remaining functions, it is simply a matter of personal team preferences which one to use, because it's up to the user or to team to decide that. It's not a generic definition or configuration for the company itself. And at the end, the regular user interface remains familiar and tried and tested, while the modern user interface offers a cleaner look and optimized for responsiveness and easy of use. So, and it seems that the working set is still here running, but we will wait. Yeah. So if you switch again here, you're all able to surely also switch again to the regular user interface. You go to the profile, go to preferences, edit, and here's the preferred user interface. Now I can switch again to Codebeamer, save, and refresh here, and I will see again the regular UI, which is known for the known existing Codebeamer users. So the dual interface approach gives you the organization the flexibility to transition at your own pace, supporting both long-time users and new teams alike. If you are considering using the new interface, I recommend that you, especially as a user of the regular UI, read the release notes of the future Codebeamer versions to see what additional features Codebeamer X supports. Yeah. And I hope it should be now in time that the working set is created here. But it's still running. So we can see 3.0 just used 25 seconds and 2.2 still is in progress to creating the working set. But it should 6 minutes. I calculated with 6 minutes and definitely the time when it should now get the notification about that. However, I mean, this proves again that the Codebeamer 3.0 has the big advantages now or the enhancements regarding the creating working sets because it was definitely faster. Yeah, so we can go ahead with the next slide. And before I go ahead here, Jen will also say a few words about this tool.
Yeah. So first of all, Zafar, thank you so much. I mean, the performance of working sets there is really, really drastically different than what we've seen in previous releases. And also the exciting, I would say, teaser of being able to see the Angular UI of what was previously known as Codebeamer X that will be merging to the Codebeamer core UI. Good. So I wanted to jump in here super quickly because I am super, super excited about this Nanga product that we've developed. And I'm so excited about it because I've been working with Codebeamer for so long, and I know that this is particularly a pain point that nearly every organization has. And it's really about managing templates, being able to understand what changes you've made to, let's say, a test template that you would like to move to production, what happens when you hit that button to merge the templates from your test server to your productive server, and how Nanga's configuration diff is really going to help customers with this with this problem. So Zafar, maybe you can dig into a bit further into the technical details, but if you are interested in learning more, please contact me after this, and I'd be more than happy to have a more detailed conversation with you.
Okay, thank you. So as Jen already mentioned, we have a tool here to provide or to close the gap which was not possible or existing in the past. And yeah, like with the Codebeamer 3.0 example, with this release brings also many improvements, also introduce a level of complexity, especially when managing different Codebeamer environments. One challenge that met many of our customers raises the lack of the built-in composition tool in Codebeamer itself. So there was no way to compare configuration changes across Codebeamer versions or instances. Therefore, we developed this Nanga config diff. The Nanga config diff allows to quickly and reliably compare settings between different Codebeamer environments, identify changes, and ensure consistency across your deployments. When you are upgrading or troubleshooting, this can save a lot of time and help you avoiding misconfigurations. The tool connects on two separate trackers on different Codebeamer servers. Like we see on the left side and the right side, there are two different instances or two different configurations to a tracker. You can choose this configuration are, as you see, side by side, and you also, this makes it easier to compare the structure and the content. You can choose between two comparison types, the tracker configuration or the field which you use within the tracker. You can choose it here, as you see. So after you set the trackers, you can define which should be compared, the configuration itself or the fields. There are also two view modes available. Show only the differences or show everything with all the differences clearly highlighted in color. What we see in our screenshot is to show only the differences. That means there are also some other entries, but they are similar and not changed. So in this case, it's filtered out. This makes easy to detect unintended changes, prepare system migrations, and or validate synchronization between environments. So if you are interested to have a demo or to try it, however, you can contact us directly, and especially also Jen for that. And finally, I want to highlight one very important point about the upgrade process to this latest release. Due to several underlying architectural changes and new features, like the new working set mechanism, this upgrade is more extensive than previous ones. In particular, it requires a database schema migration, which is not a trivial step. Due to complexity involved both PTC and we strongly recommend that you engage professional assistance for the upgrade process. This will ensure that everything is migrated correctly and that you avoid potential problems, especially in production environments. The product to Codebeamer 3.0 starts from the upgrade of to Codebeamer 3.0 starts from the Codebeamer 2.2.1 X version, which is currently the only version that supports this migration process. During the migration, your database must be temporarily configured to support at least 3 times its original size. So this will be maybe not a problem, but a challenge by larger databases, but this is just a temporary step. After the migration completes, you can reduce the storage allocation back to normal operation levels. For larger databases, there's a dedicated migration process designed to ensure performance stability. If you are interested, there are also documentation which we are not able to present it now. But yeah, so you can request it then. We strongly recommend coordination this step with us or with PTC to ensure a smooth upgrade. So that's from my side. We are excited about the new capabilities in Codebreamer 3.0 and believe they offer real value, but we also know that managing these changes effectively is critical. As always, we are here to help. Thank you for your attention, and I give it back to Jen.
Great. So thank you so much, Safar. And I would like to open this up for any Q&A. I was looking to see if there are any questions in the chat. And I don't believe that I see any. Corbinian, do you see any?
No, at the moment, there are no further questions.
All right, wonderful. Well, really, thank you, everybody. Oh, wait, there's one hand that just popped up. Or
No,
not.
that was no.
Okay, good. Then, thank you guys, everyone, so much. Summer's getting ready to start. Friday, we had the longest day of the year over here, a big holiday in the Nordics. And we hope that you have a great time with friends and family and maybe think about Nanga systems in your personal life a little bit when you need some help with Codebeamer. So thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.